Hello and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm Teacher Oakley. And today, for the next hour here, we are going to look at some examples of very poor English writing. Why? Well, what we're going to be looking at are accident reports which were filed. What happens in many Western countries anyway, if you have an accident, you need to file a report with the police station, perhaps, or definitely if you have car insurance, it's necessary to file a report with your insurance company in order to get your money. That's what you pay for. You pay the insurance company so that they will give you money when you have an accident. Now, here's the thing. Due to a couple factors, for example, one, I've seen these accident reports. They give you a space like this big to write your account of what happened. Usually they give you a picture of a road and you have to draw your car and the other car and the tree and the cow that was crossing the street. So not only do you often see written accounts that are somewhat debatable, but also you frequently are going to see pictures that are wildly silly looking. In any case, because these English speakers, these native English speakers, have only a small space to fill, and also, and mostly, because of the fact that they do not want to take responsibility for the accident. Obviously, in order to get their money, they cannot be held responsible for their automobile accident. So what they will do frequently is make a sort of a little bit of an exaggerated account, or they'll play with the English language when they write their sentence because they're trying everything they can to avoid responsibility. What happens is you get very vague sentences where it's not clear with the subject and the object. Obviously, in a clear subject, verb, object English sentence, I drove my car into the tree. Okay. Well, nobody wants to say that because they don't want to take responsibility. So we're going to look at some amusing examples of creative writing, and we'll talk about really how they have changed the content, or perhaps grammatical errors, or what really do you think happened in these accounts of an automobile accident. Hello, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Welcome to the class. Are you getting ready for another typhoon?
Yes, very big typhoon now. The weather forecast said it's as big as another typhoon. It attacked the Philippines last year.
Yeah, Hainan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Batten the hatches and be safe, of course. Okay, well, anyway, good to see you. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Also, oh boy, here's the challenge. Abimelech.
Yes.
How was that? Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, it's correct. Abimelech.
I did. It's a Abimelech. It's a miracle. Hi, Abimelech. I'm Oakley. Hi, nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from India.
India? Terrific. Okay, welcome to the class. Abimelech, have you ever been in a car accident?
No, I haven't.
You have not. Well, keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully you won't. Okay. Today we're going to be looking at car accident reports that the drivers have to file, and because they're trying to be creative and not take responsibility, we're going to see some strange sentences. Heidi, have you ever been in an automobile accident?
No, but I witnessed a car accident just in front of me.
You witnessed one. Did you have to fill out any kind of report or anything like that?
Yeah, the person who get damaged was the older person. He was waiting for the traffic light to change, so he was obtaining that place. But other person changed their direction. Then he was mistakenly curved. Then he attacked the car. And then it was a young guy. He wanted to keep it secret to the police, so I called the police.
Oh, mm-hmm. And the police came and sorted things out?
Yeah, so I said, I already called police. He was angry. Why you call the police? Because it's the car accident, and even the driver or the person is getting injured. He was about to lose consciousness. But
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
he was bleeding from his forehead.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. So call for help was necessary. Yeah, okay. I would definitely say it was necessary. So did the police take your statement? This is interesting in English. If the police take your statement, you tell them what happened and they write it all down, usually.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. If you're a witness, usually the police will write down what your story, what you saw. All right. But when you have a traffic accident and you're the driver, you may have to file a police report. You write it though, and you definitely are going to have, if you want to get your insurance money, you pay car insurance. You want to get your money. You're going to have to fill out an insurance claim report. All right, so let's take a look at some of these curiously phrased explanations for what happened in the accident. We're going to try to figure out if there's any errors in the writing, and what do you think they really meant? Abimelech.
Oh, yes.
Can you read the first one?
A pedestrian hit me and went under my car.
Oh, okay. What could be wrong with this statement?
Me and went under my car.
Well, what do you think really happened? How would you restate that?
What does pedestrian mean?
Okay, very good. Pedestrian is a person walking on the street. So a person without any kind of vehicle, just a person, any person who's walking somewhere on the street. Okay.
This could be. I hit a pedestrian, and he went under my car.
And he went under my car. I think that would be a more accurate description of what most likely happened. I agree with you. Right. What he has kind of done here is he has made the object noun. He hit a pedestrian. He's reversed the subject. I hit a pedestrian. He's reversed the subject and the object of the sentence to make it seem like he's not responsible, which still any of us obviously can figure out. It's going to be very rare for
hit a pedestrian and ran over him.
Yeah, and ran over him. Good. Very good. You run over somebody. That's the phrasal verb that we use to describe when you drive over somebody or something. You can run over cat, you can run over a basketball. It doesn't matter, but that means that you went over it in your car. So very good. That's right. Welcome, Nader. Hello.
Hi again. How are you?
Hi. Nice to see you. Nader, have you ever been in an automobile accident?
Yes, I have been not like a major accident, but I was. You can say it's something in the middle between minor and major accident.
Okay. And were you required to file a report or make an insurance claim report?
Actually, the one I'm talking about, it was back in when I didn't get my license yet, so I was not going to take the matter to the police. And I was lucky enough that the other party was also didn't also have a license, so we shook hands and went home peacefully.
Oh my. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So no report. Okay.
But yes, but recently I had that I told you when my car was parked, then someone hit and run it. Hit it and run.
Hit and run.
Yes,
my car.
or hit it and ran away. It was a hit and run case.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, hit and run. Well, we're good. We're learning some vocabulary here too, as well. A hit and run accident is when somebody hits your car or possibly hits a pedestrian and then drives away before they can get caught by the police. Like Heidi's story. Heidi was telling a story where a young man probably was trying to get away before the police came. Okay, interesting here. This is the whole thing functions hit and run. It functions as a noun or as a verb, but it's Nader. You struggled trying to make it a past tense verb. He hit and run my car. He hitted. He. Well, how are you going to say that? Yesterday I hit the ball. All right. So it's still the same. Hit is a. In any case, hit is an irregular verb. But run would be ran. So would you say he hit and ran? My car?
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Or would you say he hit and run my car? I guess it would be he hit and ran. Okay. Interesting. Actually, I never thought about that before. Interesting. Okay.
Or we can say it was a hit and run.
It was a hit and run accident. Yeah. Usually we try to avoid trying to use it as a verb, and we just use it as a noun or an adjective. It was a hit and run accident. So yeah, interesting word. Okay. Heidi, can you read the next?
The other car collided with mine without giving warning of its intention.
Okay. What's wrong with this sentence?
This driver was distracted-minded or looking at another place. For example, a very beautiful girl was walking down the sidewalk.
All right. Perhaps the driver was distracted. I guess the strange thing about this is, why would you warn somebody I intend to collide with you? How would you warn somebody that it is your intention?
We don't give some warning to other drivers because we believe other drivers was concentrated on their driving.
Right. How would you warn somebody I intend to collide with you? What are you going to point at them and point at your car? You point back at them, point at your car? Here I come. I'm going to hit you. I don't know. Yeah, pointing. Here I come. All right. Well, okay. Crazy. Okay. Nader, try this next one.
I had been learning to drive with power steering. I turned the wheel to what I thought was enough and found myself in a different direction, going the opposite way. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was not his mistake. Maybe his teacher's mistake.
Really? Okay. Um, okay. Why is this sentence so confusing? What has the author, the writer, done here that makes this completely confusing? To me, anyway. Turn the wheel to what I thought was enough, and found myself in a different direction. Now, what's missing here? I found myself in a different direction. You know?
Heading maybe?
Well,
Outgoing?
there you go. Yeah, it would make a lot more sense if we had, I found myself going in a different direction, not in a different direction. That doesn't even make sense in English. I found myself in a different direction. That just, suddenly you're facing north, suddenly you're facing south. That's, you have to have motion somewhere in between. All right, now we have the going here at the end. Maybe that's the problem. In a different direction. All right, going the opposite way. The opposite way from what? Where he thought he was
From
going.
what he thought.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, but this
I
helps a little
actually
bit.
found that that incorrect sentences are better understood by non-native speakers.
Really? Why
Yes.
do you? Why is that? That's
Maybe
interesting.
because we are used to inaccurate use of sentences, so we are trying to understand it, or maybe because maybe a native speaker one word is missing, or one irregular use of any word. This may confuse him,
Right.
but we are used to this because you
Yeah.
always think in an idiomatic way, you know.
Okay. Right. That's very interesting observation. I think you're probably right as well. Abimelech.
Okay.
Okay, let's try this next one here.
Coming home, I drove into the wrong house and collided with a tree I don't have.
Okay. Okay. What is strange about this sentence?
How can any person drive into wrong houses?
Yeah. Well, first of all, okay, you're right. The fact that you're not really supposed to drive into a house. This is a very strange preposition to use here. Okay, if you're into a house, that means you're inside the house. So that's a very bad place to drive. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I drove to the wrong house. Okay, that just shows direction. That might be a little better. And then, of course, we have the second verb in the sentence. He drove, and then the second verb, he collided with a tree. Collided with a tree. I don't have.
that doesn't make sense.
Not much, no. No, it doesn't make much sense. It's just peculiar. Grammatically, I guess incorrect, but it's very, very peculiar to talk about an action collided with a tree. Okay, an object noun, and then I don't have. That doesn't make sense, really.
Yes.
Imagine if we had to say that all the time. I walk down the street, I don't own. To the mall, I don't own. I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, Heidi, how about this next one?
I thought my window was down, but found it was up when I put my hand through it.
Yeah. Okay. Is that even possible?
Maybe he simply hit his hand with his glass, car glass.
Uh-huh.
He thought a window was opened, but actually it was closed. So
Right.
he wanted to put into his car or put out from his car, but it was actually closed, so hit his hand.
He hit his hand, but his construction
So-
here, I put my hand through it because he used through.
But
That-
he couldn't through because
Yeah,
it's
that-
closed.
Well, that seems impossible. That's why I'm saying the way he's constructed the sentence, it seems that he actually punched his fist through the window, which would
maybe
seem to be impossible to me.
He broke glass.
Unless I don't know, maybe it's I don't know, The Rock or.
He wanted to steal something from other car.
Oh, maybe he was outside the window. I had not considered that possible perspective. Very funny. Okay. Interesting. Can you actually punch through a window, like a passenger or a driver's side window?
Yeah, but I saw on the YouTube the glass door was glass, very clean. Then a woman ran to the shop, but actually the door was closed. But the glass door was very clean, so she didn't know it's closed. She hit her face strongly.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen those videos too. It's very, very
No.
funny.
Other person was shooting a video from inside. So he hit her. She hit her head, her face, and gradually she fell down. Then there was a trace of his saliva.
I saw one of those videos where the person actually did smash through the glass just by walking into it, as you explained, which I found astounding. I find that hard to believe that you could actually smash a glass just by accidentally running into it or accidentally putting your hand to it. But anyway, okay, no one was to blame for the accident, but it never would have happened if the other driver had been alert. Well, okay, this is very passive-aggressive, we call that. No one was responsible, but they were responsible. Okay. Anyway, directly passive-aggressive. Nader, how about this next one?
The pedestrian had no idea which direction to go, so I ran over him. Yes.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
The other man is confused. He confused him.
Okay. All right. Now, the way it's worded here in English, because we're using the connective so shows results. Yeah.
Yes.
In other words,
So it was not his mistake due to the confusion of the pedestrian. He had nothing to
That's
do.
right.
He had to run over him.
yes, we use so to show a direct result of something else in English. So exactly, he has taken the responsibility from himself by using so. Basically, the unspoken idea is that he had no choice. Exactly, as you say. It was, it's the automatic reaction. You drop an egg on the floor, so it breaks. Well, what are you gonna do? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It is never our fault.
Right. Well, that's the whole idea. These accident reports, of course, you're trying to remove blame from yourself, which is why you get such interesting and funny sentences. And here's one I particularly like. Abimelech, could you read this one?
Okay. I saw the slow-moving, sad-faced old gentleman as he bounced off the hood of my car.
Got a poet writing this one. Okay. I just find this extremely amusing because of the excellent use of adjectives by this writer. I don't know, really, It would seem to me that writing this in a report would actually make matters much, much worse, since you're giving such detail. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Bounced.
Yeah.
Bounced off the hood means he hit the car.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, that's very good. Let's discuss this just a second. There's a point that needs to be made. Yes, he bounced a ball. So, boing. The hood of the car in British English and maybe in India, you might know this as the bonnet. The front of the car, where most cars, not a VW, but most cars have the engine under the hood. So, for example, in English, if I say, let's look under the hood, I mean, let's look at your engine. So the slow-moving, sad-faced old gentleman bounced like a ball off the hood of his car.
You can use any adjective with like happy-faced, sad-faced, like this. This is regular.
Yeah. Okay. This is very good. Slow-moving, sad-faced, making these hyphenated adjectives. Actually, English is very interesting because we can basically completely create language anytime we want to, and it's perfectly grammatically correct. That's right. I could say sad-faced, angry-faced, happy-faced. Sure. You can create adjectives basically anytime you want to, even using slow-moving, even with a gerund verb. Okay, whatever. Fast-moving, rapidly bouncing. Well, no, not rapidly, because rapidly is already an adverb, but slow is an adjective. Okay, and two adjectives, you can hyphenate them. Sure. Yes, you can do that.
So, yes. So this is the creation of the writer, or this is a normal use of the word? So you use.
I've heard it before.
Ordinary. Yes, that's what I mean.
I believe I've heard this one before. Yes. It would be yeah, more. It's definitely, I've heard it before. So, okay, Heidi, let's try the next one here.
I had been driving for 40 years when I fell asleep at the wheel and had an accident.
Oh, okay. What's the problem? What's the problem here?
Problem is he shouldn't sleep on the wheel.
Well, yeah, that's true. But what's the problem with the sentence?
He should go to the side of the street and stop his car.
Well, sure. But what's the problem with the sentence? Okay. We
I heard asleep at
he's got a past
accident.
he's got a past perfect continuous.
Yeah.
All right. And then when?
Maybe this is wrong. For example, I had been driving for 1 hour or so.
Right. It appears that he has actually been driving non-stop for 40 years. We have the perfect construction here with a past perfect continuous verb and an with when, the subordinator to join another clause, and the past simple. This automatically, this construction means that the action that started further in the past had continued non-stop until the interrupted action. So this, grammatically speaking, this really means he's been driving non-stop for 40 years. Okay. Anyway.
So he means that he has an experience in driving. He has been driving for 40 years.
I would
this
assume.
The first time he feels asleep.
That's what I would assume. Yes, I would assume that's what he means. He has. I have. So how could you fix it? Okay. That's the question. How could you fix it? Maybe by just saying, I have been driving for 40 years.
Yes.
And for the first time, I
Yes.
fell asleep at the wheel and had an accident. Okay, that would probably be what he means. But by using the past perfect and then the simple past tense, it's got to be an interrupted action in the middle of the thing. That's grammatically what it has to mean. So that's why it's kind of it's very
Confusing.
silly. Yeah, funny. Nader, how about this next one?
I was taking my canary to the hospital. It got loose in the car and flew out the window. The next thing I saw was his rear end, and there was a crash.
Okay.
So he hit his canary.
Well, even you're confused. Well, this is the problem. This is a problem of reference. All right. The next thing I saw was his rear end. Who? Okay. Because obviously he's talking.
Rear end?
Who's rear end? He's talking about the canary, and then he uses it as of course, a pronoun to refer to the canary again. The next thing I saw was his rear end. He's got the possessive.
I guess this is another person, maybe.
Probably. We talk about in English the rear end of someone's car. Okay. So the back of the car is the rear end. You have a rear end alignment. You fix the tires in the back of your car, for example.
Like rear window.
Yes. Yes, in that similar way. So the issue here is that it seems like he's talking about his canary's rear end. We also use rear end to refer to our exterior. That part of our body which we all sit upon is your rear end. So it seems the last thing he saw was his canary's butt. Suddenly there was okay, but probably he means another person who he ran into. Okay. Okay. Abimelech.
Okay.
Look at this next one.
I was backing my car out of the driveway in the usual manner when it was struck by the other car in the same place where it had been struck several times before.
Okay. I guess this is okay, but what is he saying? Is this confusing to you?
When it was struck by the other car in the same place where it had been struck several times before. That means his car was struck many times.
In the same spot. In the same area on the car.
Yes.
Right. What may be confusing is where it had been... Okay, this actually happens in English a lot. Where it had been struck several times before, that same, for example, we call parts of the car, the sections of the car, like in front of the doors is the front quarter panel, the right front quarter panel, and the back of the car are the rear quarter panels, the right rear quarter panel. That's what they're called. So maybe his car got stuck several times in the back rear quarter panel or something like that. Maybe. Or maybe the place where his car was is the same place where his car has been hit many times before. We don't really know for sure. When he says in the same place, does he mean the same place on his car or the same place just outside his driveway?
Yes, that's confusing.
Yes. So in order to make it less confusing, I probably, if it were me, I would make this into two sentences. The place where he struck me, Well, by using the language, by simply saying he struck me in the right rear quarter panel, which is the same position, or the same place on my car that has been struck, or the same spot in front of my driveway, whatever. He just needs to use a little more language to make that clear, I think.
Sorry.
Yes.
If his car was struck by the other car, then can we use in the same place?
In the same place here?
Yes. For a car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You mean the same place on the car, the right rear quarter panel, for example? Yeah, you can, but it's just, again, it's just too vague. We don't know what in the same place is. It's another problem of reference. Same place on the car or same place in the area in front of his house. We just don't know. We need more words.
Yes.
Really, it's too vague. Place. Okay, so place can refer to a place on your body. Okay, I have wounds in several places on my body. Okay, sure. And place, of course, can mean obviously area, place. Okay. This one's just funny and silly. The indirect cause of this accident was a little guy in a small car with a big mouth. Again, fun use of adjectives. Okay. All right. Heidi, see if you can figure this one out.
The accident happened with when the right door of a car came around the corner without giving a signal.
Uh-huh. Okay. What do you think actually happened here?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That his car's right door. No, it came around the corner. No, he got the accident by himself, right?
The accident happened when the right door of a car, I guess that's another car, right door of a car came around the corner. But of course, without giving a signal is ridiculous because a car door does not have a signal.
No, once my friend said, female friend said, suddenly his car's glass door was broken. No, exploded.
Okay. Yeah. Well, part of the problem here is when the right door, okay, we have a subordinator, when, and a new subject, the right door of a car. He's using a prepositional phrase. So this is not an object or a subject noun. And then later he says without giving a signal. So it would appear to be the right door did not give a signal, which of course is crazy.
The car tried to turn right without signal. No.
Yes, that's what it means. Another car turned around the corner, apparently without giving a signal, and probably, I guess, maybe that, I don't know, actually, if his door was open or something. I'm not sure. It's really hard to figure this one out, what actually happened.
I guess he just ran into the right door of another car.
I guess so. Probably. But was the other door open or something? I don't know. That one is impossible to really even figure out what happened. Okay, Nader, how about this next one?
I was thrown from my car as it left the road. I was later found in a ditch by some stray cows. So from my car as it left the road, I was later found in a ditch by some stray cows.
That's nice.
So they reported the matter, maybe.
Yeah. The cows? Yeah.
Yes, because they found him.
That is the implication, actually, and that is exactly what is very weird about this statement. It would seem that he was in fact rescued by some stray cows. How did they know they were stray cows, by the way? I don't know, but okay.
Maybe
Also-
because it was a distant place.
Maybe it's India.
Maybe it's India. Oh, there you go. Okay, good point. Okay, in a ditch. This is very common. I just want to point this out. We usually, at least in America, we have ditches on the sides of the road for drainage. So, of course, water will drain off the road, and the water will be fed down the ditches and eventually maybe to pipes to a river, whatever. So most sides of the road in the United States have a ditch. There's an incline, like a gully, a small sort of a hole where naturally hard rain or water could flow. So the car goes off the road, you go in the ditch. It's very common to say, oh, I went off into the ditch, or I'm in the ditch. Very common. Okay, Abimelech, this next one is quite interesting.
Okay, I had been shopping for plants all day and was on my way home. As I reached an intersection, a hedge sprung up, obscuring my vision.
Oh, okay.
What is a hedge?
A hedge is, in fact, a bush. Usually a hedge is a kind of bush that runs along someone's property. It demarcates or it shows the edge of their property, the boundary. So it's plants that people generally use as boundaries on their property. But the fact is it's a plant. It's a bush. So, okay.
Like the movie Over the Hedge.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Maybe.
So, Abimelech, what is strange about this?
As I reached an intersection, a hedge sprang up, obscuring my vision.
Well, okay. It's a little strange that a bush sprung up. It sounds like the bush jumped into the air, which I've rarely seen bushes, flowers, or even vegetables jump into the air.
Yes.
It's not normal. But also, it's almost implied, I don't know why, but the right is I've been shopping for plants all day. So it almost sounds like she bought a hedge, and as she was driving, the hedge jumped up in front of her, inside the car.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes. Why it's funny.
So spring up.
Yes. Spring
so,
up,
like,
present tense. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What does it mean? Like jumping?
Jump up suddenly.
Okay. Like a spring.
Like a spring. Boing.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Like that.
Okay.
Or a cat springs on a mouse. When a cat jumps very quickly, he pounces on the mouse, or he springs into the air. He jumps quickly. Spring, spring, sprung, spring, sprang, sprung. Okay. All right. Anyway, very funny. Heidi.
I was on the way to the doctor with rear end trouble. When my universal joint gave way, causing me to have an accident. What does it mean, universal joint?
Okay. This is a part of your car which actually makes the wheels turn at the same time. And actually, your universal joint, it also helps you turn the car. So if your universal joint gives out, it's the thing that helps turn the wheel, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's the part of the system that turns your wheel. So if your universal joint breaks, you're not steering. You cannot steer. Okay. Okay. What is the problem with this sentence, Heidi?
Anyway, he was distracted.
Well, well, actually, no. He had an equipment failure. But what's funny about this is the part he's on the way to the doctor with rear end trouble.
The rear end. Yes. This is again the use of rear end. What does it mean?
Rear end trouble.
Rear end.
Butt trouble.
Butt trouble.
Butt.
Right.
Okay.
Get problems with his butt. But we also say rear end trouble to talk about, again, the back of a car. So I think what he really meant was he already had problems with the back, with the back end of his car. There was some kinds of problems. I think that's what he meant, but it sounds like, yeah.
He's going to the doctor for back trouble, no? But
Yeah, I don't know. We can't tell. That's the problem. This is a very redundant. We don't know if the trouble's with his car or his butt. And then, of course, we have joints in our body. That's what connects our, our elbows and knees and shoulders, our joints. So again, he does it a second time. Does he mean universal joint, the car part, or does he mean some kind of special joint he has in his body? Okay, we don't know. So he uses two terms which are ill-defined and ambiguous. Is the problem?
I think
Very ambiguous.
the rear end trouble is very painful. When he was driving. So
Maybe. Possibly. We just really can't know.
So can we say this pun use?
I'm sorry?
Pun. This may be. Can we say this?
Well, it's like an accidental pun. Yeah,
Yes.
That's
Not intended.
yeah, an unintentional. There you go. He's making an unintentional pun. Actually, two of them. That's true. That's absolutely correct. Because of the ambiguousness of the statement. That's true.
Yes. So, do you use pun when you are talking about politicians or something, like you to get out of trouble in case something happens? Because this in Arabic, this is a common use of puns to just use a pun and mock some famous guy, and then
Really?
you say, "I didn't mean it." Yes.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
But this is not common in English.
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Hey, puns are very interesting because English speakers, some people love puns, and some people, it's one of those things, you love them or you hate them. Some people just absolutely love them and love to use them to make jokes, and some people hate them and literally groan every time. It's so stupid. I don't know. But anyway, we don't really use them in that way. No, not really. I would just not say no.
Okay.
Okay. I was sure the old fellow would never make it to the other side of the road when I struck him. Okay. Another one. Okay, let's do a couple goofy ones there. Okay, let's look at this next one. Nader, how about this one here?
I was unable to stop in time, and my car crashed into the other vehicle. The driver and passengers then left immediately for a vacation with injuries. So I don't
Okay.
understand the last part. I guess they were injured, but then they left for vacation, so they cannot attend the hearing or something.
I guess so. Apparently, I don't know. I don't know exactly why either. But this is it's a vacation with injuries. It sounds like something else, and I can't quite place it. I don't know. It sounds like a burger with fries. it,
I don't know.
it sounds like it's supposed to be a set phrase, but it is so wildly not a set phrase. This is a very strange one, even for me. I don't know how to explain why it's so funny sounding. It sounds like a set phrase.
Maybe,
But
maybe,
obviously
maybe he
not.
meant yes. Maybe he meant what you said. Like they went immediately to buy to go and buy these burgers and fries or something. But
Yeah.
here,
Well,
with this accent, in this accent context, it means totally different thing.
yeah, it sounds very strange. Okay. Let's. Okay. Oh, I like this one. Let's try this one here. Abimelech.
Okay. In my attempt to kill a fly, I drove into a telephone pole.
Okay. Hmm.
Attempt to kill.
Okay. So, what does it seem like he was doing here, Abimelech?
Attempting to kill a fly. Why was he doing that?
Well, what do you think really happened, and what does it sound like happened from the way he wrote this?
He was attempting to kill a fly,
Yes.
and unfortunately, he drove into a telephone pole.
Yes. Probably he was distracted by a fly, and he drove into the telephone pole. But because of the way he writes it, in my attempt, because of this discourse marker signal phrase he uses, it would appear that
He was trying to kill it with the car.
he was trying to kill it with a telephone pole.
No, maybe he was trying to kill it with the car.
Well, a combination.
Maybe fly was inside of a car. He tried to kill the fly. Then he left the wheel.
Sure.
Yeah,
Like
probably.
this. Then he left his wheel. Then suddenly the car hit the telephone pole.
Yes, well, I think that's what happened, but it is because of his use of the signal phrase in my attempt relates to the second phrase. So in his attempt to kill the fly, that includes driving into a telephone pole, which of course makes the whole thing sort of ridiculous. Okay, here's another telephone pole one. Heidi, you can try this one.
The telephone pole was approaching first. I was attempting to swerve out of the path, but it struck my front end.
Yeah. Okay. Again, it would seem we have another case of an inanimate object that's jumping around and moving around in front of the vehicle. Yes. Right.
Maybe he was half sleeping.
Who
Very
knows?
sleepy.
But clearly, this is just wrong. A telephone pole cannot approach fast. That
Yeah,
doesn't.
so the car was approaching the telephone pole.
Right.
So he was half sleeping.
Right. I was approaching the telephone pole fast or quickly. Right. is attempting to swerve out of its path. Oh, okay. Like it has a path. Okay. Very,
What
very
does
goofy.
sorry?
Swerve?
Yes, or about?
Swerve. Well, swerve out of its path. Okay, swerve out. Yeah, you're probably right. This is a phrasal verb. To swerve is to turn suddenly, very quickly. You swerve, you make a turn 45 to 90 degrees, say, a pretty abrupt, fast, and sharp turn. We also say sharp turn. If you're ever on a mountain road and you have to take one of those hairpin curves, that's a sharp turn. We call them hairpin turns, going up a mountainside where it's like more than 90 degrees because you're going back and forth up the mountain. I like this next one here. Nader,
A truck? Oh, no, I pulled.
try this one. Yeah. Try this one. Yeah, I pulled.
I pulled away. Sorry. I pulled away from my. I pulled away from the side of the road, glanced at my mother-in-law, and headed over the embankment. What is embankment?
Embankment is a steep, a small hill, a small but steep hill. Usually to keep a road flat. Sometimes they actually build a hill, and so the road doesn't have to go up and down and up and down. And so because they make a man-made hill, there's a bank, like a river bank. That's a little hill, similar
Yes.
embankment. So he.
Okay, so maybe he hates his mother-in-law, so because he
Yeah.
couldn't hit her, he
Yes.
he released his anger.
Maybe. It does seem like the cause of the accident was, in fact, his mother-in-law. Glancing at his mother-in-law.
Yes.
That's the implication here. Okay. Okay. I like this one. The guy was all over the road. I had to swerve a number of times before I hit him. There you go.
Yes.
Similar.
He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe he
your
was
swerve.
drunk. Maybe this for sure. He was drunk.
Okay. Oh yeah. That's just funny. Abimelech, how about this one here?
An invisible car came out of nowhere, struck my vehicle, and vanished.
Wow.
That was ghost.
Ghost car, I guess. I don't know. But wow, this guy.
This is a hit and vanish case.
Hit and vanish case, right? It's an invisible car. Where did it come from? Out of nowhere, and immediately after, the invisible car vanished. Wow. Does that mean it appeared? Is that a double negative? I'm not sure. How does an invisible car vanish? I'm sorry, I don't know how that. I don't know how that's done. It's very funny. Okay. 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 Let's. That's quite dirty. Okay. Heidi, how about this one?
Going to work at 7 a.m. this morning, I drove out of my drive straight into a bus. The bus was 5 minutes early.
Wow. Darn that bus. Has no business being early. Okay. Obviously, the implication is that the bus was to blame for this accident. Okay. This is also a pretty good one here. One more. The accident happened because I had one eye on the lorry in front, one eye on the pedestrian, and the other on the car behind.
How many eyes do you have?
Indeed. Okay. The three-eyed motorist, three-eyed pedestrian, three-eyed driver here. Okay. Wow. Okay. One last note. A lorry, of course, in British English. In American English, we call it a truck. Consistently, Brits call it a lorry, and Americans call it a truck. And we don't really tend to swap those terms. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I hope maybe you saw some good examples of how not to write. And I hope you're a little amused. See you again soon, but we are out of time. So thanks a lot, and see you guys again soon. All right. Bye for now.
Thank you.